Francis, great job on the recording button on the way in. Yeah, right on. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody is having a fantastic day today. Louie, good to see you, brother. Right on. Jared, Dave, Chad, hope everybody's doing well. Joe, the rock star. Um, Joe is one of our a seasoned veteran but newer to the concierge team, making database calls and booking appointments with real estate agents. And Joe is absolutely on fire this week. Joe, I think you got 7 appointments on the first day dialing this week? Is that right?
Yep. No, 8.
Eight, 8 qualified appointments in one day on the dials. So congratulations on that. Fantastic start.
To 16 in the last couple of days, so doing really well.
Yeah, right on. 16. Every 16 qualified agent appointments helps, right? Awesome. All right. So we'll get this thing going. And can you hear me now? All right. Today's going to be fun. Is everybody ready?
Do this.
Okay. We are going to reward. Oh, Dave's here. Dave,
I'm here.
It's been a
Chris.
minute. Nice to see you.
Likewise. Good to be here.
Awesome. Right on. Okay. So as we got people rolling in, we are going to get started. So, hello, everybody. Today, we're going to use ChatGPT to identify the top producing real estate agents in your local marketplace and have ChatGPT go out and actually research them and find the things of interest that relate to them so that you have a unique way to open a conversation with that qualified agent and start to communicate with them. So that's what we're going to do today. And we're going to get started. Before we do, a couple of house rules. First off, we're one big happy family here. So if you can, and it's safe, turn on your camera, be part of the community. It's just nice to see everybody as we interact together. Second thing is, this is probably the most informal training webinar, whatever you want to call this, that you'll be on. And that's by design because we're dealing with technology. We're dealing with things that are reasonably complicated. Sometimes it's super simple, like pick up the phone, make your phone calls, and you'll do deals. But other times it's like, hey, we're going to use AI. We're going to use these automations. We're going to work inside the CRM. And so it's specifically designed to be informal so that you can feel comfortable asking questions. There are no bad questions. And you can see things break. You can see real raw feedback from clients and customers that we have using the platform and see us helping them in this environment. And all so that you know, once you get the stuff built, A, it just kind of runs in the background for you and you don't have to touch it after it's built. But B, it's okay if it breaks. It's okay if you click the wrong button. It's okay if you have to hit the back button. Totally okay. Nothing is not fixable or unfixable. And we'll get through it all together. So you're all good. Third thing, with it being informal, we ask that you're respectful, which everybody always is. But you can unmute your microphone at any time. So if you got a question, just like unmute your microphone and ask the question. Cut me off, stop me as we go through the whole thing. There's no such thing as a bad question. And in going through technology, if we let it get too far ahead, sometimes you forget the question that you had. So just stop me, ask your question. We're here to help you. The whole purpose of this call is to help you grow your business and help you get more mortgage deals. So that's what we're here for. If you need help, unmute your microphone and just ask. If you're not comfortable unmuting the microphone, totally cool. We get it. You can go into the chat. We have our incredible team here, Francis, and a number of our team members behind the scenes that are here to answer any of your questions. So if you need help with anything, you can also go into the chat and we're there to help you as well. Final order of business before we get started here. 2 orders of business. I should probably introduce myself. Hey, if you don't know me, my name's Chris Johnstone. Welcome to the call. I'm the owner of Connection Incorporated, which builds the Loan Officer CRM, our ranking program, and our concierge service where we book your appointments for you. I'm pleased to have you here. Thank you for joining us. And then the final order of business is we're going to be talking about the Loan Officer CRM. In my opinion, it is a marketing resource that everybody in the mortgage industry should have. And you can try it out risk-free for 30 days by going to loanofficercrm.ai. Sign up on the program. It's $297 every 4 weeks. And you can try it out for 30 days. If you are not 100% absolutely satisfied, we will give you 100% of your money back. So there's no risk to you. You can try it today. And we would love to see you on the inside with our incredible support. So, Kimberly, thank you for the kind comment in the chat. Most people here on the call are members. So that's why we don't do a ton of selling. We're really just here to facilitate our community and give everybody the help and the resources that they need. All right. So let's get to it. How many of you were on Breakfast Club this morning? So quick showing of hands / in the chat. Okay. Some yes, some no. Cool. All right. So we'll go through this really quickly. My man, Dave, did you have a question or was that I was on Breakfast Club?
I was on Breakfast Club, and I'm an hour and a half into the deep research. So I will pin that conversation, but yeah, keep going.
Okay, awesome. Right on. So what we went through on Breakfast Club this morning, for those of you that were not there, is this prompt for ChatGPT. So when you go to ChatGPT, so chatgpt.com, you can take this prompt, which I will put in the chat for you, and you just copy and paste your market information into the prompt, and then it will go out and do deep market research in your marketplace on the real estate agents that are in your marketplace. Now, the prompt that I gave away on Breakfast Club this morning is almost identical, except I said the top 30 real estate agents in the market rather than the top 10. And you can see here from the one that I punched in live on Breakfast Club this morning, it is still doing research. It is still literally going out, reading websites, getting all of the information on all 30 of these real estate agents. And you can literally watch it work. Like, imagine paying a person to go out, not only build the list of the top 30 agents, but then going in and looking at, like, look, it found James Kruger, who I guess is a top performing agent in the marketplace, went to the Instagram, went to the Facebook, found the X, found the LinkedIn, read about their listings, read all about them, right? Did all the research, everything that they need to know about those real estate agents, compiling everything into a copy and paste spreadsheet that I'm going to get that has their websites, their email addresses, their phone numbers, their Facebook profile, their Instagram profile, their LinkedIn profile, their X profile, you name it. It's all going to be on that spreadsheet so that we can interact with it. And then also in that column, what it's going to give me, and this is one that's finished for the top 10, it gives me the Facebook, the Instagram, Twitter, and then it gives me topics of the types of real estate that they offer, as well as things that we have in common, and which was a great ad that was put in on the Breakfast Club this morning. And then we also added charities that they're involved with, because I personally enjoy reaching out to somebody, opening up conversations on that realm of things, and using that to build the relationship to see if there's an alignment between our personalities, we're doing business together, might make sense. So you're actually going to get even more data back from the research when you get your deep research back from ChatGPT. My man, Mark.
Hey, Chris. Is there, because I was watching what you did this morning. Is there something else? I mean, can you merge this in with Model Match, or are you using anything in Model Match for this, or is this just going out and finding all the agents in your area, or are you combining Model Match to this?
Great question. So I am not, but what I have done is I've taken model match data, put it into ChatGPT and gotten ChatGPT to enrich it
Okay.
in the fact that you can get different contact information for people. And really what we're doing here is we want this information right here. Facebook link, Instagram link, Twitter, like whatever, or X, whatever platform it is that you're active on, you want to be able to click that link in a spreadsheet, go to that profile and interact with that person on that social media profile.
Got it.
And the thing that we're really doing here is ideas for how to reach out to these people so that you've got an opener, because these agents they're like $150 million a year type producers who have zero time and normally teams underneath them. They're very difficult to reach. So your average outreach isn't going to get this agent to respond, which is why we're looking for little hooks that the deep research finds for us so that we can reach out and get oh, that's interesting. And then that opens up the conversation. That's really what we're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hey, Chris,
Okay. Yes.
this is Jimmy.
Hey, my man.
I mean, I just think rather than just getting, I mean, I'm just thinking if I went to Dallas and I got the top agent in Dallas, probably not the guy I'm going after, but I've got a list of really specific people. You can just feed it that list, or even people you're already having a dialogue with, right? It gives them
Exactly.
new talking points and all.
Yeah. And so, Jimmy, that's a really good point. And the other aspect of this is we touched on this a little bit on Breakfast Club this morning, and I didn't want to go too deep into it, but you can think of ChatGPT as your own personal assistant. I think of it as a sales assistant, because as soon as you punch in, like Jimmy, you've got that listing data of people that you already have relationships with and people that you're already targeting. Take names and put them in here and say, do deep research on these people. My goal here is to set up referral relationships with these people. And we start that by building a relationship based on core values, shared ideals. I'm looking to build relationships with these people on things that we have in common. So it'll go out and do all of the research using what it knows about you from your ChatGPT and your history and everything that's been loaded into ChatGPT and what you've used about it, and find those commonalities between you and them. But what it also gives you is those little hooks, but then you can update it. And you can say, hey, I reached out to Joe. Joe responded. Joe has an appointment next Thursday with insert in talking point. Set a task to remind me on Thursday morning at 7 a.m. to reach out to Joe and ask him how his appointment went. Or he's going fishing with his kids this weekend. Remind me on Monday morning at 7 a.m. to send Joe a text message and be like, hey, hope your fishing trip with your kids was great. Have a great week. You know what I mean? It's these little hooks. And so every time you're doing your outreach and you're making your calls, having this conversation open in ChatGPT and going back and revisiting it and giving it the updates, just like it's your CRM, but talking to it and leaving those notes, it'll never forget. It'll always remember. In 6 months, when you're making your calls and it's like, hey, I called Joe, he didn't pick up. And it's like, well, don't forget, 4 months ago, you sent that text message about his kid's birthday. Insert in, whatever AI is going to tell you about that. It will reference the information that you've given it about that person in this conversation from previous. So think of this like as a top producer assistant that's always going to feed you new information about these qualified agents to help you have relevant in the moment conversations with these people. So it's not just about doing the research and getting these hooks. It's giving you a tool that you can reference over and over and over every time you have a conversation with one of these people. So you still leave the notes in your CRM, but you're also copying and pasting or just talking to ChatGPT and leaving the notes in this ChatGPT conversation. So it remembers and can help you with your outreach. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah. Hey, Chris, quick question on when you're talking about the ChatGPT and doing this, should we be operating through the ChatGPT through the CRM or through our separate ChatGPT that we have on our system?
Separate ChatGPT that you have on your system,
Okay.
tied to your account. So you're logged in. It's just you in this conversation, but
Okay,
it's
so
not
the one in the CRM. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. The one inside your CRM connects to OpenAI through an API, and it's essentially like a call and return system that comes through our filter in the middle, which gets it to speak mortgage, right? So this is truly tapping into like the full interface of ChatGPT and the history and the memory of everything that it has within it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought that this was just absolutely amazing on this research that came back. So idea number one for outreach to this Dina Golden Tayer person. Complement her latest Step Inside With Me tour and attach a one-page jumbo foreign national loan matrix for 10 million plus buyers. Like, what a great idea that ChatGPT came up with in order to do that outreach. And quite literally, I would take this and I would say, hold on here. Let's see if it'll copy that. So create to send to Dina. And let's see what it comes up with. Because again, this is the joy of Build It with Chris. We don't know what's going to happen when we click the button, but let's click it and see. So let's see what it comes up with the first idea. It's like, hey, produce this PDF. Let's send it out. Let's see what type of response we get. So let's see what it comes back with. My man, Bobby, you got a question.
Hey, I was on the call this morning and grabbed the prompt and put it into ChatGPT Deep Research, and I didn't come up with anything similar to the structure and all that you just showed. And then I even tried it in Perplexity, and I also tried it in Gemini, and all of those gave me all different results. But specifically on ChatGPT, I'm not getting the same results other than, I'm using a different market area. But as far as format you just showed or whatever, so is there something I'm missing, or did you massage it in the background or what?
So no. So did you click the plus button and use Deep Research?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So let's take a look here. So get me a list of the top 10 real estate agents in, and then just your market. And then you put and create me a spreadsheet that has the links that I can click on to go to there.
Yep.
You got that part of it?
I copied it verbatim, Chris. And what I'm not getting is what you're showing, like right below the prompt on your screen. If you scroll to the right where it shows the ideas and all,
okay,
I'm not getting none of that came through on mine. I mean, I've got links, I've got names, I've got, whatever it could gather, but in terms of ideas and topics, I didn't get anything from that. I didn't get the same results that you did.
So I'm finding that that's normal with AI, because your AI is different than my AI. It's like a Google search. Google searches are a little bit different, but you should get the same format, because you're copy and pasting like the format of what it is. Like, provide me in the spreadsheet 3 topics that they're interested in with ideas that I can use to reach out to them with personal outreach. Like, you have that in you copied it.
Yeah, it's in the prompt, and I like I said, I got a lot of good stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, but on that particular aspect, I mean, it asked me, some qualifying questions like it did this morning.
Yep.
Which I went through and answered, and the qualifying questions were a little different than what you had on yours as well.
Interesting. All right. Well, I would say try it again. And I'm going to give you this one here that directly came out of Breakfast Club this morning. Let's see this here. Look at all these friendly, smiling faces here. So many windows open. All right, there we go. So this one here, that's the new one. So I would take out 30 and make it 20 or 10 just to speed it up a little bit, because mine's still going from Breakfast Club this morning. Like it's still in deep research mode down here at the bottom. So, I think 30 might be overworking it maybe a little bit. I mean, it's going to spit it out, which is awesome, but obviously I wanted it for the call here today. So 30 might be a little bit much, but just copy and paste that exact one and see what you get when it spits out.
All right. I'll give that a
This is the
shot.
Same one you did this morning? This one that Francis is sharing?
Yeah, that's right, Paul.
Okay.
Yep. And then the other thing here is that, and this is why I love Build It with Chris, is think of the AI as a person and a personal assistant, right? So if you have a meeting with the same person, you ask them the same question, chances are you're going to get slightly different answers from that person if you ask them the same question, right? So the beauty of AI is that you can dive deeper into the feedback that it's given you and get what you want out of it. And I've often found that we can dive into areas where the AI on the initial prompt may not have given us the response that we wanted or access the information that we wanted to access. But if you're doing it deeper in a conversation, when it's in a task and a conversation with you, it will actually do things a little bit differently. And so what I would do is I would say, hey, what I'm also looking for is those 4 ideas on these people. Go get me the ideas and add them to the spreadsheet. Put that in as a prompt. See what it comes back with. Hey, give that to me in a format that I can export as a CSV. And it'll give you the format that you can export in CSV. Like, don't think of the first prompt as the end. Think of it as the beginning of the conversation and being able to work back and forth with this. Does that make sense? Or help?
Yeah, Chris, I was gonna say my idea would be like try it on 1 or 2. Don't run it on 30 or 50 and wait 6 hours and then find out you don't like what you got. Run 1 or 2 and give it feedback, and then another 1 or 2, and then let it level out, I think.
Yes, absolutely. What you'll find, Jimmy, is it'll change how it does the task as you go through and give it feedback, which isn't always necessarily a good thing. It can end up kind of going off on these rabbit holes. And if it does, you've got to kind of like copy your conversation from previous, take it, put it into a new chat, repaste your chat, and then start again so that it doesn't go down that rabbit hole, which is one of the frustrating things with artificial intelligence, which is always why I always try and provide the prompt up front to get you as far down the road as possible.
But nearly use one session like as your R&D for a few iterations, and then once you get where you want, go to a clean prompt and start with where you're at.
That's right. Yep, you got it.
Hey, Chris, you're obviously, you're aiming for the top 30. What about changing that where you're kind of going for the tilapias as opposed to the, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I absolutely love that. And that, ties back to the model match comment of like, let's go into model match, find the ones that we actually want, put those into ChatGPT deep research and say, hey, go find me the talking points for these particular agents and find me their Facebook and their LinkedIn and their information. Because then again, you can import that back into the CRM and it won't override those contacts because it'll still have the name and the email address and everything, but it'll then add the Facebook and the Instagram right to their profile inside the CRM. So you can then just click from the CRM and go right to their profiles as a result of that. So I think that's a brilliant suggestion. So export them from Model Match, put them into ChatGPT without all of their personal information. Like, big disclaimer, don't put people's personal information into ChatGPT. And then from the responses that you get, work from that there. and then export it as a CSV, export it back into the CRM. And essentially what you're doing is using AI to enrich your own data, right? But I love the idea of the tilapias instead of the whales. So, all right, cool. Everybody with me so far? And Paul, that was a great insight. Sweet. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this deep research here. We're going to give this some love. And hopefully that's going to finish on our presentation here today. But we're going to start with this one. So what I've done here is I've now got Stephanie's Facebook. And I'm going to download this table and by clicking that button. So now I've actually got a spreadsheet down here labeled Miami Top Agents.csv. So with me being just a Google Sheets nerd a little bit, I'm going to take that and I'm actually going to put it into Google Sheets. Because I like these because A, I can integrate them with the CRM, and also I can spit them out into other tools, which helps a ton. Oh, I did that wrong. Sorry, just give me a second. So we're going to file. Give it a second. My computer just got crazy slow. File. Import. Here, let me just shut this down for just a second. Everybody knows how to import a file. I'm hoping. So I'm going to upload, browse. And actually, I shouldn't say that because it's not easy. But I'm just going to do it this way because I don't want to crash our browser. And we are looking good. Everybody with me so far? Awesome. All right. So now I've got all these agents. I've got my top 10 agents exported from ChatGPT with all my topics, my ideas. And then again, Paul, as you're going through and you're adding people to this, or you're going out and saying, find me the next 10, find me the next 10, find me the next 10, you can just file, import, and it'll just keep adding all this information to this spreadsheet. And then at any time, you can go file, you can go share, download, comma separated values, and then import it into the CRM. And then we have workflows pre-built for your qualified agents. So you can take all these, just import them to the CRM, and while you're importing them, add them to the workflow that you already have built for your qualified agents. Would it be helpful for me to walk through that process? Would people like to see that, or are we good to keep going? Let us know in the chat. There is no bad answers. Remember, this is Build It with Chris. This is your call, not mine. Whatever we want. Okay, so Kimberly says yes. Kyle says yes. Asa says, oh, my man Asa. What's up? Good to see you. Okay, cool. All right, so we're doing it. All right, so now I've got all this information inside the CSV. I hit File. I'm going to download comma separated values. So it has to be .csv in order to import it into the CRM. So I'm going to click on there. I've now downloaded that file. Then I'm going to come over here to the Loan Officer CRM. For those of you that aren't members, Model Match, the tool that we were talking about, has all the qualified agent data in it, as well as all of the loan officer data in it. And it's right here built into the CRM. If you click on this button on the left-hand side that says qualified agent lists, all the real estate agent data is in there. So you can give it what market you're in and do a search, tell it you want real estate agents that have done 8 or more buy-side transactions in the last 12 months, and it will spit you out a list of all the qualified agents in your local marketplace. And then you can just select them, import them into the system. And again, there's a workflow pre-built with a year's worth of marketing to go out to these qualified agents. So I'll just do a location here and we'll just use Tampa, Florida. So Tampa, Florida, add filter, buyer units. And so we want real estate agents that have done 8 or more. So in Tampa, Florida, real estate agents that have done greater than 8 units, and I'll extend this up from 10 miles to, let's go 50 miles, because we can all use a bigger cup from time to time. 3,044 agents, and there's Joe with the mega cup. But there is 3,044 real estate agents in Tampa, Florida that have done more than 8 buyer side transactions in the last 12 months. That's insane. Like, can you go get 30 of them? Yes, sir. Absolutely, you can. So then from there, you would take these, you would select them all, and then you're going to add them to a pipeline, and then you import the pipeline into your CRM. The reason why I show you that is because we're going to go through the exact same process. We're just pulling the data from the CSV that we got from ChatGPT rather than Model Match. So over here on the left-hand side of the CRM, and to answer that comment, yeah, that's included for free. We don't charge you anything extra for Model Match access inside the CRM. I pay for it, but we don't charge you for it. So you get access to Model Match for free with your $297 subscription. So in here, under contacts, we're going to click import contacts. Sorry, I shouldn't have showed that screen. But we're here, start contacts. We're going to click on next, and then we're going to upload. So we're going to click this box right here, and it's going to go to my downloads, and I've got my Miami top agents.csv. So I'm going to open that up. It's going to upload that file, and I'm going to select how I'm going to import them. So I'm going to create and update contacts. The reason why you want create and update is it will watch for duplicates. If somebody is already in your CRM, it won't overwrite them. It will just take whatever data we're importing that's new and add it to that contact, but it won't overwrite any of the contact information that's already inside the CRM. Then we're going to click on next. And then here, we're going to map the columns. Sounds a lot more complicated than it actually is. So all we're doing is we're looking at where the fields are over here and what's in there, and then the fields over here where we're going to put them. So this one here, column header and file is agent team. And we don't actually, yes, so that's their name. So here, we're going to put name because it's got the first name and the last name in it. So now when I send an email, if I say, hi, name, it will say, hi, first and last name at the top of the email that I send out to them. This one here, brokerage information, I'm not interested in that information. But if I was, I could create a custom field in here that says brokerage. Alexa is amazing and probably already has that in the real estate CRM, but we're just going to leave it out for now. So we're just going to don't update an empty value. We're good to go. Facebook, we're going to put in here as Facebook. Aha, look at this. This is going to go down in history as one of the Build It with Chris aha moments. Look at this. So there's no data when I type in Facebook. So we should have inside the contact record a link for Facebook, but I'm not seeing it here. Oh, it's because I'm using a brand new account that hasn't been cut. So this doesn't have the snapshot that you have as Loan Officer CRM customers. This is a brand new account that I created for our listing podcast project. That's why they're not in there, but helpful for you to know. So if we want to create, well, you know what? It's not worth me teaching this because yours is already pre-programmed with the fields that you need to put in here. So all you do is you type Facebook in here. Facebook will come up as a line item. You select it, and it will import the Facebook information. Same thing with Instagram, same thing with LinkedIn, same thing with Twitter. These topics, though, you will need custom fields for. So those custom fields, technically, I believe, will create their own as you're importing them, but we will go through the process of creating a custom field for you to show you how it goes. Everybody with me okay? Is this valuable?
Chris, so in doing this, and let's just say you've got, I don't know, 500 or whatever you have in there from this, and you do the Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. Are you able to set something up to where it'll already see whatever post, and AI can kind of respond to that post just to engage you and make you kind of in front of them where you're not having to worry about it? And then if they respond in any kind of way or anything like that, then you would actually say, hey, they're actually, responding to me, maybe I should go in. But it's like, because you have all this stuff and then they got everything in there. So every time they do a post or they do something, it's already getting responded to without you even really knowing about it until they respond back. And then it would let you know, hey, so-and-so agent just, responded to your comment or something.
So you can't make outbound comments on social media
Okay.
and that is a limitation of Facebook. So that's actually against the terms of service of Facebook.
Okay.
But if one of them comes to your business page and leaves a comment on one of your posts, absolutely the system can notify you and respond back to the comment automatically, all using AI. So if somebody engages with you, you can totally use AI in order to handle the communication back to that person.
But the initial engagement has to come from you.
Correct.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, you got it. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to pop out and we're going to go to settings. And Alexa's off sick today. So we just jumped out of a plane without a parachute. Diving into custom fields. All right. So over here, so we've gone to settings and then you can see custom fields on the left-hand side. So we're going to select custom fields. And then we're going to move this down here. See up here on the right-hand side, we have add field. It's going to be a single line field. And we are going to call this, you select single line. Next, field name. We're going to call this Facebook. Goes on the contact. You could create a new group of social media information, but I'm just going to have this on the general contact window. All that means is that when you go to a new contact, the menu bar that's on the left-hand side has tabs on the top of it. And they say contact information, general information, additional information. It actually goes down the side. And if you click on those, it like opens up all of the fields that you have for that contact record in that section. So this is just telling it, where do you put that information? We're going to put this under contact because their social media information is their contact information. The placeholder, we're just going to call this Facebook link. And then we don't need to pre-fill it with anything there. We don't need any additional preferences. And then we can just click save. I've got an error. So we're going to call this Facebook link. There we go. So now we have a custom field called Facebook link. And then we would go through and we would add fields. So single line, and then this one we're going to call interest number 1. And then group under contact, placeholder is interest number 1. And we're going to hit save. And we've now got the Facebook link and the interest down here at the bottom. So now we can add that to the contact record. So when you go to the contact record, you can see it, you can click on it, but you can also put that information into any of your email communication or whatever you want. So you can create contact fields or custom fields for pretty much everything that you want. Everybody with me so far? That was a whole lot more in the weeds than I was expecting to get into today, but away we go. So we're going to click go back. we're going to go back to contacts. Give me just a second here. We're going to open up that contact record and click import contacts. There we go. Here we go. Now we're going to import contacts. Hit next. Go back, grab our CSV that we exported from ChatGPT. Hit open. Hit next down here in the bottom right-hand corner. Then we're going to map our fields. So we've got the name in the name field. Brokerage, we're going to skip. We've got Facebook. We're now going to select this. We're going to type in Facebook, and you can see our new Facebook link is in there. And now we've mapped the Facebook information to the contact. So you got to go through, create all those custom fields for all the information that you want to put in here. And then when you click next, all that information will be mapped to that column. I also put in that topic 1 section right there. So I believe it was interest number 1. And I'm actually going to map this field to it. It doesn't matter. But I would map this one because this actually has the talking point interest that we would put on there. So don't import data in 9 unmapped columns. All that's going to do is allow me to import these contacts without having everything mapped correctly inside the system. I'm going to hit next. And then I can set my automations off of what's going to happen to this import. So here we can create a smart list. So at any point, this list is going to be accessible as a smart list. So when you go to contacts, there's smart lists across the top to save you time. So you could name this as Qualified Agents Miami Top 10 or whatever, so that you know who's in here and you know it's the export that you did from ChatGPT. You can add imported contacts to a workflow. You select the workflow and you would do your qualified agents workflow that has the year's worth of follow-up to go out to those agents, and then add tags to imported contacts. And this would then again be qualified agents. And then you would do the location, and then you would put in the date. So you know when you imported them to the system, and you can search by the date, you can search by the location, or you can search by qualified agents and find that tag at any time. And then when you select that tag in the search, all of those qualified agents from that search will show up inside your CRM. Now, another interesting thing that you can do is in these add imports to workflow, you can create a workflow to add them to a success tracker, so that as soon as you start to import them, they automatically show up on the success tracker at the first stage of contact, and then you can move them through the success tracker as we go through. But you could, because we're applying a tag to them, you can move them into the success tracker by the tag application at any time that you want to do that. Holy cow, that is in the weeds, detailed stuff, y'all. Somebody keep it light. It's Friday. Come on. So down here, start bulk import, and away you go. All the contacts end up inside your CRM. They're tagged. They're in the workflow, ready to go. You're all done. Was that helpful? Awesome. All right. So now let's get to the really ninja stuff. We've now got a spreadsheet here, and we've got their social media information. So this is totally random. This market, we just randomly picked it, randomly got the top 10 agents off of ChatGPT, and now we've randomly pulled in their social media profiles. So I've prepared something in the background for you that I think is going to provide a pretty wow experience, and also give you something that's really going to set you apart from anybody else that's reaching out to these agents. And the reason why I put this together for you is because this is kind of like the tippy top of the real estate agents, and we need something that's really going to wow them and really catch their attention. So A, that's why we're reaching out on social media via DMs. And it's why we're going to use something super cool to do our outreach. So I've got Dina here. And so we've got Dina's Facebook, and I'm going to just click on this and open up Dina's Facebook. So facebook.com/step inside with me, which is a funky little real estate name. That's actually pretty sweet. And here we go. We are going to follow that business page. And it pulled in the business profile rather than her personal profile. So I'm going to do this. Actually, it'll let me message the business page. So we'll go this way as well. All right. So not a lot of engagement, 8 likes, 6 likes, a couple of comments. All right, cool. So the reason why is because now we actually stand out. Like if they're not used to getting a ton of messages on social media, it's actually likely that our message is going to be seen, read, and we're actually going to get our message out. But how do we provide something to Dina that's got that wow experience? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to her website. So I popped in here and I picked a listing. So I just Googled her name, found her website. So Step Inside with Me. I went to the inventory of the listings, and I didn't want to go like super crazy with like the $30 million listings. So I went moderate, and I picked a $15 million listing that she has on her website. And then what I did was I went over here to, hold on. There it is, listingpodcast.com. And I took this listing right here, clicked on it, and got the HTML, or got the URL, excuse me. Come on. There we go. And then I went to listingpodcast.com, which y'all saw on Breakfast Club last week. Clicked on Get Started. Filled out my name, my email address, my phone number. So we'll just do that. And then I put the listing URL in here. So this is actually her listing URL from that listing. I created a password so that I can log in and download the podcast later. Clicked on Get Podcast, and then paid the $29.99. Full disclosure, this is my site. This is our product. This is you are buying this from me. Like this is not even an affiliate. This is straight up our product. We just launched this, but went through the process so that we could actually get it produced. And so now listingpodcast.com has created me a podcast for this listing. So if I go to my downloads and I look for Dina, this podcast was produced by the system. So this is going to open up weird inside iTunes because I don't have an MP3 player on this computer, but this is what.
Have you ever been house hunting and felt, caught between two extremes? On one side, you have the brand new, ultra modern house that's perfect.
Right.
But maybe a little.
Can you guys hear that okay?
Yeah. Impersonal. Then on the other, a property with great bones, but it needs a full gut job.
It's the classic real estate dilemma. But what if you could find that perfect sweet spot? A home that's already a masterpiece, but still leaves you room to be the artist and add your own, signature.
That's the dream. And if you're looking for it in Miami Beach,
yeah,
there's one name that consistently delivers on that dream. Dina Goldentire with Douglas Elliman.
Oh, she is an absolute force. As Douglas Elliman's #1 agent in the entire country.
Wow.
She just has a knack for finding these one-of-a-kind properties. And she has a listing right now.
Okay.
That is the perfect example of what we're talking about. It's 315 E Revo Alto Drive on the Venetian Islands.
Mark, the moment you see this home, you just get it. It has this idyllic courtyard entrance surrounded by all this lush greenery.
Right.
That just instantly welcomes you.
So you get it, right? AI podcast, two voices talking back and forth. The first thing that it does is hooks the listener and then promotes the real estate agent, which is great for us because we want the real estate agent to be like, whoa, that was really good. That was awesome. And so we now have a podcast, and look at Dina's listing, $15 million. YouTube video, property location, disclaimer, and that's it. You know what this page needs? A podcast, an audio tour that really engages listeners. And how awesome would it be if a loan officer was to be able to create that for her and send it to her, right? So now I've got the MP3 file, and I'm going to head back over to Facebook, and I'm going to send a message to Dina's business page. And I'm going to say, Dina and team, wow. What was the address on that listing? 315. Wow. 315 East Revo Alto. What an incredible listing. Congratulations. You know what? I'm gonna leave that out. What an incredible listing. I noticed on your page that you don't have a promotional podcast to help sell the listing yet. So I created one for you. Love your feedback. Feel free to post on your listing site, socials, etc. And now we're going to go back to our ChatGPT research, and let's take a look at our ideas here. Step inside with me tour. Okay, so that's what she calls them. So now I'm going to put in here, these would be an awesome complement to your Did I get that right? Step inside with me? Yeah. All right. And then I'm going to click the plus button, attach file. Ooh, is it going to be too big? And it was Alyssa, right? Jimmy, we're dealing with Alyssa? Hold on here.
With Dina. Dina?
Dina? Thank you, Francis. Zoom makes it so that windows are on everything. All right, so we attach our file. We've got Dina. And yep, that's okay. Voila. So look at that. The podcast right inside the Facebook message sent to the team. Is that a wow experience or what? Now, I add to the CRM, get the automatic emails and the workflow going, get the list ready, and start making my calls next week. So I sent that message out on Friday. Now on Monday morning, when I'm making my calls to my qualified agents, why am I calling? Well, Paul, I'm calling because it's, hey, Dina, did you see the podcast that I sent you on your Facebook page? What did you think? Wouldn't those be a great compliment to all of the listings that you have? Yeah, that's amazing. And voila, you're in a conversation and able to get the appointment. Is everybody with me? Does that make sense? And you saw how the ChatGPT deep research gave me the hook inside the DM to the agent where it's actually unique. It's actually relevant. It feels like I went out, I did the research, I created a podcast, put together a personalized message, and sent it out. Now, if it was me and I was a loan officer, I would then research Dina and I would look for her personal Facebook profile. I would send her a friend request on Facebook. Hey, sent you a DM on your business page, right? And just grow all of those connections. Once a week, on Fridays, we're going into the spreadsheet. We click the link. We go to the business page. We look at the content. We like, boom. Awesome listing. Needs a podcast. Just kidding, right? So now, if Dina has Facebook on her phone, because chances are she does, because they're real estate agents and the ego thing attached to social media and engagement is pretty high. Now Dina's gotten somebody liked your business page, right? Somebody sent you a DM, somebody liked your comment, or somebody liked your content, and somebody left you a message. There's 4 notifications on the phone of the person who's the administrator of this Facebook business page. All cool stuff, no spammy stuff, nothing weird. And once a week, we can be going, interacting with the content, liking and commenting. Remember, it takes an average of 8 touches in order to get somebody to respond. And this is just another platform, right? So the 7-Eleven 4. We don't have time to go into that whole structure, but they need to hear from us on at least 4 channels and have at least 7 meaningful interactions with us. Anyways, we'll digress. But 4 touches on 4 platforms: phone, text, email, social. Different social media accounts, right? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, and actually providing value, which again, we've done using the podcast. So feedback, what do you think? Any aha moments out there?
As Frank would say, I need a cigarette.
That's awesome. Jim, I didn't see you come in. I think you popped in a couple of minutes later. Francis, can you fix that? There we go. All right, cool. So Jim, did you get your sample episodes?
I did. Hey, thank you so much. I shared it with the agent, asking for any things. They were bowled over, and this is with a builder. So, we put a little spot in there about the builder, talk about how conscientious he was, and they're like blown over. So, only thing I may end up doing, we talked the other day, is I may go back and do the open house agent and throw that phone number in.
Yep. Yeah, that's super smart. And we're happy to do that for you. But you got a good response from it.
Oh my God, they were overwhelmed.
Amazing.
They go, how did you, they kept saying, how did you do this? I said, oh, Chris and I just talked.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So that's great. Keep it in your back pocket, totally. But also, to say to the agent, let me fill you in on a little secret. It was $30. I went to this website, listingpodcast.com, put $30 in. I mean, you should have one of these for every single one of your houses. You can share that with them as well, because almost the fact that it's $30 after they listen to it, they're like, what? That's incredible. And then you're the person that's given them the resource, and you don't have to pay $30 for every episode. They'll go buy them on their own. So,
that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, what a horrible voice.
No, great stuff. And thank you for the fast turnaround. Thank you.
Oh, hey, it's my pleasure, and we're happy to help. So next up, I think my man Dave. So next up, I think my man Dave.
Yeah, that was awesome, Chris. Great seeing it the second time around. Can we put a wrapper on it personally and jack up the price by another $100 and we get a little scratch out of that? That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. You can produce them and charge whatever you want. Not a compliance expert. There you go. So no compliance information on this call. Anybody else? Any other questions? We are good to go. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. May we end with a little story? Is that okay? It'll take 2 minutes. I know we're over time. Vince Queen is like, no, I'm out. I'm leaving. So I got to tell you, I've been in the mortgage industry 15, maybe coming up on 16 years now. My dad was a mortgage broker. That's how I got into the business. I grew up at the kitchen table with my dad talking about underwriters and broken fax machines and chasing everybody for paperwork and deals. Like I have just lived in the mortgage business for a good portion of my life. And so when I got into the mortgage business with my dad, he put me on the rate sheets and donut circuit, which cruel and unusual punishment for something that I did as a child, which I still don't know what it was. But anyways, lived that. That's how I got into the business and ended up 3 days a week. I'd fill my car up with donuts and rate sheets and I'd drive around to all the major real estate offices. And I remember I was also following up with phone calls because I was in the office and I was calling all the top agents. And the top agent, well, he was like top 5. One of the top 5 agents in town agreed to meet with me. He was like, okay, Chris, you're persistent, whatever. And at this time, like I didn't even shave. I think I was 21 or 22 when I joined the mortgage industry. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I got a top producer appointment. This is amazing. Like I was on a high for a week. I was just like, this is amazing. This is turning point in my career. This is going to be absolutely incredible. When I got some new shoes, it was just like, this is awesome. I'm going to go rock this appointment. This is great. Like, let's go. Right. And so I go to the office. We're supposed to meet Friday morning, 10 o'clock. Friday morning, I'm there at 9:30, waiting in the parking lot. You know, don't want to go in too early. I go in, I go up to the front desk. You know, they make the desk like super high and you can't see who's behind the desk when you walk into the real estate office and you got to like peer over the top of the desk to see the team that's working behind it. So Friday morning, I walk in, I peer over the desk, and there's the girl I had a crush on in high school. sitting behind the desk. And I was like, I'm a nerd, right? And my wife is absolutely amazing for you know, dealing with my idiosyncrasies and all this wonderful stuff. So anyways, I'm immediately awkward, but then I'm like, wait a minute. I got a meeting with the top agent in the office. Like, this is awesome. I'm bossy. This is sweet. So I kind of puff myself up. I'm like, oh, hey, nice to see you again. How you been? You know, I'm doing things. I'm like, I'm here to meet so-and-so. And she looks up at me and she laughs and she goes, he doesn't come in on Fridays. He's totally messing with you. And the guy 100% ghosted me on the appointment. Like, how crazy is that, right? So when we talk about networking with real estate agents, I feel your pain. I think in a way that maybe some other people don't. But let me finish the story. Okay. About 6 months later, I quit the rate sheets and donut circuit, and I'm on the edge of leaving the mortgage business to go find another career. And late at night, out of mass frustration, Google existed, but wasn't even like mainstream yet at that point. And I'm literally on messaging boards typing in like, how do I generate mortgage deals without having to talk to people? Now, like that was my motivating factor of how to build this thing. I discovered an ebook by a guy on the internet on how to run Google ads to lead generation pages and generate real estate leads. And I figured out how to generate Google leads for real estate agents for our town. Little old Guelph, Ontario, population of 100,000 people. The first week that I turned on the system, we generated over 100 names and phone numbers of people that were interested in buying real estate in Guelph. And I was generating leads for like $1.25. I start talking about it. I start giving the leads to the real estate agents, and we were closing 25% of the leads into actual deals for the real estate agents. It was absolutely outrageous. So my phone rings one day, and on the other end of the phone is Mr. Agent from Friday morning. Chris, man, what do I got to do to get all of these leads? And I said, you need to be a nicer person. Click. And we never spoke again. Do you know why? Because I had the thing that I could use to get the appointments with the top producing real estate agents. I didn't need the appointment anymore. We have a very small sliver of time with artificial intelligence until a lot of this stuff goes mainstream. And the podcasts, and the I'll follow up with your old leads, and the I'll help you with your database, and the I'll teach you ChatGPT, and let me show you this deep research thing that I learned about last Friday. Now is the time. Start talking to your agents. Start using the tools. Start getting it out there, because you're the one that has the power of the information that makes you attractive to these top producing agents, and it will make you unstoppable if you tell enough people about it. But don't just come to the class and learn it, go like, oh, that was cool, and then go about your weekend. Fridays are for implementation, right? Right now, there's 3 top producers out there that need to hear from you. Pick up the phone, call them. Hey, I got this thing that I just learned that can create an AI podcast for you. Do you want to hear it? Like, Jim, your implementation from the time that you heard about the podcast, you bought the podcast, you sent the podcast, you've already knocked their socks off. It's less than 5 days. Like, that's absolutely unbelievable implementation, brother. Congratulations. Like, that's gangster in the nice connotation of the term, right? So that's what it takes. If you're going to be successful, you got to take action. So all this to say, go forth, have conversations. You've got the knowledge. Go out, make it work. Have an excellent Friday. I love y'all. Thanks for being here. Have a great weekend. See you next week.
Thanks, Chris.
Jim's got a question.
Oh, I'll let everyone get off. Just to hold on. We'll let everyone get off. I'll give you a comment here real quick.
Yes, absolutely. Right on. Thanks, everybody. Happy Friday.
They can listen if they want. But first off, just love all the stuff over the last few weeks. And it's interesting. I've taken my LO CRM and I'm still tweaking it. But this past week, I have Katie, my AI agent. And, you know, my wife's a realtor and she's like, oh, you have to have somebody answer the phone. So, you know, I gave this to her and she's, well, okay, that's good. But one of her clients, he loved it, you know, and I changed it. Are you a realtor? Yes or no? And then, you know, okay, do you have a loan with us? Would you, you know, so it worked out very well. And so I did that. Then I did the open house that matches my podcast. So I went in there and I think it was Kaylee helped me on that one. And so we got it tweaked. I'm just telling you, this was Chris Johnstone week for me.
That's amazing. Have you had the open house yet?
Not yet. We're going to get that all done today. And actually, one of my other realtors just came up with something, and I'm going to try to get something put together real quick for her today. So,
if we can help you with it, feel free to pop into the LOCRM Zoom support, and the team's happy to help you build that stuff out.
Yeah, they're really good. And then this morning, all that stuff, just amazing, the prompts. I still got to learn out all these prompts and get my stuff out there. That's another conversation, but just appreciate you and where we're going with this. So all good.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for implementing, and I can't wait to hear about all the success.
All right. Well, I'll come up to Canada sometime soon and we'll pet the polar bears or something.
Well, okay, little secret, don't tell. I'm actually in Costa Rica.
Weren't you there a few weeks ago?
So we're here. So we're here for like probably like 6 months.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And so back and forth. So we're traveling back to see family in Canada, but we're actually trying to keep our feet on the ground here a little bit more. So
Well, good place to be. So
yeah, Francis, you can go visit
Yeah.
Francis in Canada. She said,
I'll come see you, Francis. That'll be good. And thank you both. Appreciate both of you.
awesome. All the best. Happy Friday.
And to you. Bye bye.